By the time we finish this video, we will be able to add a record just like this. So if I go to that website where we're going to get the information, I'm going to add a donut. I'm going to copy all this. Dunkin' Donuts Blueberry Bagel Twist. And go to the database. Add. I'm going to paste it right here in the name field. Now I got to get the metadata. Okay, I see fat 1 gram, 75 carbs, 11 protein. So carbs is 75, 11. And now for the cholesterol is 570 and 0 cholesterol and 570 sodium. So we'll enter that. Now we can edit these later. If we make a mistake, we're going to create some functionality to where we can edit it. So I'm going to click submit, and there's our new record. Okay, so where we're going to start, let me show you where we're going to start. Right here, click to go to this page and go to food menu template and right click, and you can get all the code. There's been some changes. You notice that there's cholesterol field there and there's this table header. So in the code, let's look at this in the code. In meals.php, inside the table with the ID of table, I added a T head with a TR, and inside that I added all these TH tags. These will be the header of the table. I also added some CSS, so let's go take a look at that. So embedded in the style tag, I have a comment right there. It says added in part 5. That's what I just added. You can see I have a selector for the TR of the table head, and I give it this style. You can style it any way you want. This creates a kind of a reddish linear gradient. So down here, this is the style for the rows of the table body. You see, this is going to give it like a bluish linear gradient. And then I have a style for the hover, when you hover over the table body, and one for the selected row. That's when I click on a row. So you can style these any way you want. Just make it look good. Okay, for right now, let's go and start adding records. So we're going to go here. Let's go to the phpMyAdmin first and delete this record. We're going to start fresh. So as we start adding records by filling out the form and then clicking the submit button, we're going to see the record right here in the table. So let's go to the code. Okay, let's find the table, and right under the table head, right here's the table head. Underneath that, we're going to add a table body. So I'm going to leave a comment here, table body taken from database. Okay, so we need to have some PHP. First, we need to have a query. So we're going to call it read_q to select from. This select from, these are keywords, so we capitalize those. Food is the table. That's the one I made, so it's in small letters. Then we need to declare another variable called result, and it's equal to a mysqli function, mysqli_query, 2 parameters. Our connection, remember the one we made in the connect field, the connect.php, and we need our query. That's read_q. So let's leave a message just in case it breaks, say or die, and in parentheses, this is what we're going to say, error in selecting from food. Okay, so let's also, so that we can see our error, call another function, mysqli_error, and that, again, we need to pass the connection variable in that. Okay, and that's it. And we need a semicolon at the end. Okay, so now we want to loop through this array we call result, and we're going to do that with a while loop. So let's type while and declare another variable row, $row equals mysqli_fetch array. That's a built-in function. Then we're going to do something. but this doesn't look right here. There we go. So notice how we have our variable $sign row equals with one equal sign. We're saying it's equal to the result of this function. And what we're saying is that as long as this exists, as long as there's a row in the database, we're going to do something. Or in other words, while there's a row in the database, we're going to do something. So inside the curly braces is what we're going to do. So you remember echo? The word echo, that's how we produce HTML. So we're going to echo a table row, an HTML tag. Each line of our echoes has to end with a semicolon. Then we can go back and echo another thing. So right now what we want to do is echo a TD tag. We could have put these all in the same line, but I want to separate them. Then we need to echo the actual value that is in the database. So in this case, it's going to be $row. Okay, and in brackets and in quotes, you need to state the field name. Okay, so now we're going to, again, we need to echo a closing TD tag. Okay, so we need to do this for each of our fields in the table. So let's copy this. Okay, so let's paste it down right about here. We're actually also going to need to echo a closing TR tag. So let's do that now. Okay, for now, let's go and see if there's any errors. Let's go back to the browser, refresh. So what I want to do is add one record real quick, just anything. We're just testing it. Just anything. We should see something over here, and we do. We see name and name. Okay, so we're not getting any errors. It looks like we're doing good. So let's go back to the code and finish this off. So I'm going to paste that block of code that I already copied to my clipboard, paste that a couple times, and then go up here. Now these are the fields in our database. So I'm going to change this carbs, fat, protein, some, or cholesterol. If I spelled that right, if I didn't spell that right, we're going to get an error. So I need to copy that again, and then sodium. Okay, so let's save it and try it out. Okay, so we got to, oh no, it's an error. Something about this cholesterol. I know I spelled it wrong. So now let's go to phpMyAdmin, and so this is a little trick I do. I want to spell that right, so I'm just going to click change. Like I'm going to change the name, but I'm not going to change the name. I'm just going to copy it. I'm not saving anything. I'm going to go back to the text editor. I'm going to paste it right here. That way I know it's in the database, it's in the code. So let's try that again. Refresh this. So we have the records, but the reason why we have so many records is because we kept refreshing it. So if you go back and look in phpMyAdmin, we have all these records. But these aren't real records. So I want to delete them. So I'm going to click the database and click empty. Okay, so let's try it out. Let's add some records. Let's go open a new tag and go to that website with all our nutrition facts. Okay, so let's copy this. This is going to be our first record, Blimpie Bagel. Paste it right here in the name. Okay, so how much other stuff? 58 grams of carbs, 1 of fat, 11 of protein. So let's go back and say 58, 1, 11. Now the sodium, what was the sodium? 700. Okay, submit it, and there's our record. Okay, so let's do that a couple more times. Let's get some more Okay, this time I think I'll get this from the same company, get their burrito. I don't want to copy it that much. So I'm going to copy just a blimpy burrito, paste that into, add that to the database, paste it. Okay, so our nutrition facts are, well, let's see, we've got all these 54, 38, 31. 54, 38, 31. And what about the sodium and cholesterol? Cholesterol is 320. Sodium was 700. How much was sodium? 2570. Click submit, and there's our new record. But it looks like the name for our second record has been cut short. So let's go and look in phpMyAdmin and look and see what we got. So yeah, the name was cut short. Now if I go and go to structure, I can see it that I'm allowing 50 characters. So it must be in the HTML, and it's in this max length attribute. I'm going to change that to 50. This has already been changed in your HTML if you're using the template. Okay, so now let's go and try that again. So I'm going to go and find a long name. I'm going to copy this whole name. I'm going to speed this up a little bit. Just going to get all the metadata and put it into the field inputs. Okay, so now I'm going to click submit, and there's our new record. Now we need to style this table a little bit different, but anyway, that's our record. So right now, let's go back to the code, and right where we created the table body with our select statement, see we got the table head and then with the table body, we created this select element. We pulled all this stuff out of the database. It's a good practice that after you do that, after we created the table body, we are going to run this mysql _free result. It's a built-in PHP function, and it takes a parameter. And the parameter is going to be, remember, our result. Okay, then we just need a semicolon, and that's just good practice. Okay, so now let's go to the very top of the page. Remember when we created this connect.php? That opens a connection. So when we're done, we should close the connection. That's just good practice. So we want to do that at the very bottom of the page. So down at the very bottom, let's create a PHP tag. And inside the PHP tag, we're going to call this other function mysql _close and the connection. So let's go try it out and refresh. And we know it's still working because we added the record again that was already in the form. But anyway, we're going to have to delete that. But in the next video, we are going to create this update functionality so that we can click on this edit button, and then we can edit the records, because we might have made a mistake, and we will be able to delete it. So, well, thanks for watching, and I hope this is working for you. If this is not working for you, go back over the other videos and figure out what's wrong, because it should be working. Make sure everything is done right. So in the next video, we will continue with the CRUD. Right now we've done the create, the C, by adding the record, and in this video we displayed the record. Now we can read it. That's the R. And the next video is update or edit. So I hope to see you in the next video, and if you like this video, share it with people.